So again, welcome to today's webinar, SkyRocket, Your Productivity, Passion and Power. So I'm just, okay, who am I? Karen Oates. I don't know, there's some of you on this call. I know that you know who I am, and some of you had an opportunity to work with me, and some of you are in my Facebook group, LinkedIn connection. So I know a number of you are aware of who I am, but I just wanted to share a little bit today about who I am and what I do. So here you can see probably not the best picture of me, but that's okay. And I'm the Extraordinary Woman Igniter. So what is that about? I'm hugely passionate about helping support women to step into and access their courage to take their life and their business beyond what they might have previously thought possible. So that's what I'm about. I want to ignite the passion. I want to help you access the courage for you to go probably where you've never gone before, to live an extraordinary life, to have an extraordinary business, to have extraordinary relationships and health and absolutely every aspect of your life. But that means, you know, you've probably not even perhaps put your hand up and claimed that you want that before. Maybe you have, maybe you've been searching for that for a long time. I lived, you know, from a very disempowered place for a long time because of circumstances that were going on around me, and I was allowing that to impact. And you know, not saying moving forward, because I felt I was actually retreating inside myself and certainly wasn't moving forward. So I've done a lot of training and have a number of certifications around coaching and helping support women to be able to have the best life. As I say, it's from my journey though that has been the most contributing factor in me not only being able to help other women, but also the reason why I do what I do today and why I'm so passionate about it. So we'll talk a little bit more about that as we move forward. So I want us to explore today. So what was the promise that I made to you? We're going to find a 5-step process for you to be able to skyrocket your productivity. So it's about performance. It's your passion. You know, most of us started in our own businesses or even the careers that we have because we're passionate about, you know, possibly how we can help people or how we can support you know, what we do, and that we're very passionate about what we do. But it's also passionate about how we can help our families and our own lives move that forward. So we should be filled with passion, but often what happens in business is that we either lose the passion or we actually find out that we never really had it. So it's about reigniting that passion and also your power. I had a conversation with someone yesterday around, you know, she came across as a very powerful woman, and she was a very powerful woman, but it may have been not accessed from her core, from the authentic her. Maybe it's based on, you know, her life's experiences, and she felt she had to be that strong person, show up as a strong person, and it wasn't from the core of her being that she was showing up from. So what I want to do is help you uncover that power that you have within you, that if you live from that place every day, then everything starts changing. So we're gonna look into the 5-step formula to achieve any goal rapidly, and the exact order to execute those steps. How to end procrastination, avoidance, overwhelm and confusion and be 10 times more productive. How to have unstoppable confidence in everything that you do that will enhance every area of your life. And what I call the secret sauce that will transform everything, but mostly in connection with your mindset that will ignite your passion and power like never before. So who wants some of that? You know, I would love for this to be as interactive as possible. So any time I ask a question, love for you to respond. I'd like for you to be interactive and really kind of take part in this to extract as much as you can out of that. Awesome. So it's kind of, you know, the reason that you showed up here today is because you would like to experience, I'm assuming, the passion, the power, and the productivity that we've been talking about. So you're all here today because you're in business, and maybe some of you are in a career and you want to make a shift, or you're just in a career where you want to really step up maybe the results, but also step into the next level for you, because it's always about growth and learning and discovery. And if you go through life with a mindset and see things through the eyes of curiosity, it's always asking questions, always wanting to know more, growing, excuse me, growing and learning and expanding is what it's all about. So but it's, you know, it doesn't always relate to us in what we have to do in our business as being easy. There are parts, I'm pretty sure that all of you will have experienced at some time how you see that and regard that as aspects of hard and difficulty and challenges and problems and issues. So I'd like to ask you all, what's the hardest part about being in business? What do you find right now is the hardest part of being in business? If you could respond just in the chat box, just tell me what you think is the hardest part about being in business. So being alone, being out there on your own, yeah, especially if you've come from perhaps a corporate background. When I bought my first business many moons ago, I came out of a corporate environment where we had an HR manager, I had a general manager above me, IT department, you know, there's so much support, but when you are out there on your own, it can be quite daunting when you don't have the kind of support structures in place that that you're used to having. And also there's a whole, you know, usually a whole set of other things that you have to consider as well that you may have not had experience in before. You know, the passion alone in what you do is probably not going to get you through. So, so yeah, great distinction about support. Getting started and marketing. Marketing self. So getting started and marketing, absolutely. It's sometimes that, you know, how do you transition, especially if you are, you know, starting from the ground floor and launching as a brand new business. For me, I purchased an existing business. That was my first kind of leap into owning my own business. Since then, I've started businesses and bought and sold businesses. So I get from both angles. But when you're really getting started, and you know, it's knowing the path, having a plan. And sometimes we have a plan, we have to put together a plan maybe for a business plan for the bank or, you know, whoever. And you get a template and you put down all these words and you look at it and it's kind of like I've got this plan, but it's not actually making sense. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to execute this. So that I would say the very most important thing that you can do if you're getting started is stick with simplicity around planning. Keep everything as simple as possible, because you can expand if you've got a simple path that you're following and you stick to a few key strategies with your marketing. There's so much information, there's so many opportunities to market now that it becomes confusing. It's like, what's the best strategy for me? So we'll explore more of that around getting started and marketing. So what else? Who else here has got what's the hardest part of being in business? Sales. You know, I came into business because I'm passionate about what I do. I didn't come in because I'm a salesperson. Yeah, so exactly. That is one of the most common things that I hear is, you know, I don't want to feel like I'm a pushy salesperson. So yeah, we'll expand that. The sales process, and that the whole, you know, the ickiness that we can feel around sales is very real. It doesn't need to be, but it can be, because it's probably the most confronting part. The other one, okay, productivity. Maybe that's around, you know, what we're going to talk about today, and that's procrastination and avoidance and distractions and all those things that I usually lump into the procrastination bucket. But they're the things that we use, tactics that we have, strategies they actually are, for us to be able to move away from the things that we don't really want to have to do, because for whatever reason, we deem those as the hardest things, but they're usually the things that are going to get us the biggest results. So we're going to explore that more. So what else? The hardest parts of being in business? Maybe we'll just move forward, because I'm sure we're going to explore some of those, and I'd love some more questions later on. So the hardest part about being in business, yeah, that's just, you know, what I wanted to make that distinction about. There are some things that we're going to always have that we lump as being hard and put in that, you know, that we don't want to do. So it's just about, you know, what we do to be able to get through that, and maybe no longer see them as being hard, but also what else can we be doing so that they're not actually hard. So what does it take? What does it take to be a successful entrepreneur or business owner? I know some of the people in here are certainly entrepreneurs. Other people would probably more define themselves as business owners. But I think, you know, we're all kind of entrepreneurs if we're out there in an adventure of, you know, trying to create an income and a lifestyle where we're responsible for what happens. We no longer have a boss. Maybe we have, you know, I know it was, I think, a real estate agent on this call. You're still an entrepreneur and a business owner, because you may deem that you have a boss because you have a manager, but you are responsible for creating your own income and lifestyle. So what does it take to be successful? Love some feedback on that. What do you think it takes to be successful? While you're thinking about that and popping up some answers, you know, we could just sit here on this topic all afternoon. What does it take to be successful? I think the key thing that I would like you all to take away from this webinar is, if you just get an understanding of commitment. To be successful as an entrepreneur, a small business owner, it's about commitment. Commitment to do whatever it takes regardless. It's like there is no other option. I will do literally whatever it takes to see the result and the outcome that I want. So I just want you to leave you with that, that word commitment. We're going to explore more that word and the meaning of that. But I want you to sit with, what does commitment mean to you? So just a little bit more about me. So I'm just going to go with a little bit more expansion on where I went before around my personal journey. So just so that you've got a little bit of background, because I think we all come here for a reason. We're all on a journey, and we have lessons to learn. My lessons in my lifetime have been around my family. I had some fairly big issues with my son, first of all, when he was a teenager, and I did not cope with that very well at all. He was into all sorts of trouble. I at one point was when I bought my first business many moons ago, and I was not even functioning internally, not functioning, let alone being the best I could be in my business and helping it, you know, grow and expand and have it impact my life the way I wanted it to. Because when we have something going on personally, it's going to impact our business. When we've got some things going on in the business, it impacts us personally. So every area of our lives, we don't segment them. We might pretend that we do, or we say, okay, when we're at work, we're at work, and when we're home, and we leave that at the door. But it's not the way it actually goes, because we're still creating a whole load of beliefs about ourselves and the world, and that impacts every area of our life. So that's just kind of the fundamentals, but when we actually have some big things going on, it sure does impact every area. So this journey that I was going through, I went out on a kind of journey of discovery to look for ways of being able to just get myself through the day. So it was the beginning of my personal development journey, which kind of started maybe how many years ago? 15, 16 years ago. And so on that journey, it also expanded into a spiritual journey as well. So I've not only been able to help myself, but I got to a point, because I was resisting it for a long time, I knew that part of my journey was about sharing my journey, sharing my experience, sharing my training, my knowledge. So I went out to get some more structure and more training around how I could best help and support and serve other people. So that's just a little bit about me. It's now my absolute passion to help empower, especially women who may not be where they want to be, where they are settling for where they are in their circumstances, but that they're at a point where they're putting their hand up and saying, I'm no longer prepared to settle for what's going on, for not getting the results I want in my business, not getting the financial rewards that are possible, not having the freedom in relationships and in their life. So that's just wanted to expand a little bit on that, so you've got a little bit of background. So just in my trainings and what I do as a coach, I'm an NLP master practitioner and results coach, and I'm an evolved leadership coach, and also the experience, my journey, where I've come from, what I've learned about me along the way, and what I've learned about the human nature, the human performance. It's fascinating. It's the most rewarding thing that you can do is be involved in helping support and empower other people. So I want to ask you this question. What's valuable to you? Why do you do what you do? So I'd love for you to just chuck up in the questions or chat box that you've got there, just why are you on this journey? Why are you in business for yourself? Why do you want the success that you want? Why do you want the financial rewards? So it's that big why question. So just pop up maybe it's a word, maybe it's a quick short sentence. Maybe you don't actually know why, the real why of why you're doing it. So I want you to give some thought to why, to help others. Great. Financial freedom. Absolutely. But it's like, why financial freedom? What do you want from that financial freedom? So it's not about the money, is it? It's what money means, what it can do. Is it the freedom? That's what money means to me, is freedom. Freedom to choose. Freedom to choose when I want and what I want and why I want it. So who else? Who else has got a why that they can identify? For my family, for my children, absolutely. Because you want to create the lifestyle and the opportunities for your family. It's that's such a big one. But it's always it sort of comes back, doesn't it, to helping others. It's not just Most of us, when we're wanting to create something, create that financial or business, there's lots of reasons, but the why comes back to serving others, how we can best use our passion and who we are to best serve others. But any of you on the call who are not really clear about that, I'd love for you to explore that. And I'm just trying to think of the book that I was going to recommend by Simon Sinek called, it's got why in it, in the title, and it's just escaped me, but it's a great book. What's my why? It might be. It's just escaped me. If I think of it, I'll pop it up in the chat box. But really knowing why you do what you do is hugely powerful. And reminding yourself of that, when you get a little bit down or you're doubting what you're doing, is why you do this? Why do you get up every day? Why do you want to make a difference? Whose lives do you want to change? So just think about that. Okay, we're going to talk now, move into some of the content of this webinar. So it's 5 steps to achieve any goal rapidly. So I want you to think a little bit about maybe your business plan, if you have one. How complex is that? How simple is that? How much do you know what's in that plan? How much do you attach goals to that business plan? Do you have 12-month goals? Do you have 6-month goals, 3-month goals? Do you have a goal for this week, for this day? That to-do list for today is a goal setting exercise, isn't it? This is what I want to achieve in the day. So I think the first thing that we need to do is be very, very clear about what your goals are. We can take that goal setting from, the vision boards, and we know we want the big house and the car and these experiences, maybe travel and, a big ring, and it's my family, and, we've got that very big kind of vision out there of what we want, how we want our lives to be. So that's fantastic. But always, whatever goal we're looking at, it's about chunking it back. So if we look at maybe 12-month goal, because we all pretty much have 12-month goals, and I could say here that or that would be the best thing to do to get the outcome that you want. So again, if you don't have 12-month goals, then maybe it's time to be looking at putting that into a form that you can attach and align with. So what are your 12-month goals that are a stretch for you right now in your thinking, in your current, who you currently are, that attaining those 12-month goals would be a stretch. That's fantastic. Not too much of a stretch that it's way outside your thinking and where you are, and not something that you think is easily achievable. It's somewhere in the middle that it's going to take you to have to move through whatever you kind of barrier or boundaries that you have in place at the moment, because we've got to move through some level of uncomfortability to get to where we want. Okay, so coming back to the central piece of goal setting. So it's about clarity. It's having absolute clarity. Maybe if let's look at a 12-month goal of a financial target. So maybe let's use some nice round numbers. Let's say it's $100,000 in the next 12 months. Or, you've got that set now for the end of the year. So you know what that goal is. So that's very clear and very measurable. So it's working back from that point to different points along the journey. So maybe it's okay. So that means I'm, what's happening at 6 months, and am I going to have earned 30,000 or 40,000? Thinking about not just chunking it into divisions of that 100,000, but it's growth as you go. So you're not going to jump next week into probably earning that $100,000. It's in 12 months' time. So what are the increments? So you've got that, so chunked it back from that perspective. So let's say that you, who could we use as an example here? Somebody that's in a service industry. So maybe you're a consultant, right? And you know that you want to earn $100,000, so that you then say, you know that means you're going to have, let's say, 10,000 consults. So what has to happen to get 10,000 consults? Okay, that means I have to actually have conversations with 20,000 people. Probably uses some extreme numbers here, but what I want to get across to you is you've got to be able to define what the actions are as well as just the goal. And I've probably moved down into number 3 a little bit here. So I'm going to kind of leave number 1, but it's firstly being very clear about what your goals are. So number 2 is commitment. We talked a bit about that before. It's that having that I will do whatever it takes mindset. There is no other option for me. I'm 100% committed. But what does commitment look like? To a lot of people, commitment means I'll do it my way, and that means not doing anything I don't really want to do. That means allowing things to get in my way. That means not being the best you can be every day, not making sure that that's going to happen. So it's really about the attitude that you take to this. Because if we quickly use the analogy of an elite tennis player, it's a bit like the, you know, we've got the elite tennis player playing the game of tennis, and he's so on his game, he's in his flow, but he had to do some things to get there, didn't he? He had to get up every morning maybe at 4 o'clock. He's done that for the last 10 years and practiced and practiced and practiced 8 hours a day, being coached in some of the, you know, real in extreme situations or in extreme, you know, strategies. He's had to make sure that he's fueled and has boundaries in place so he gets enough sleep, so he's fed properly, he eats right. There are so many things that he needed to do in order for him to get on that field. But was he committed? Absolutely, and he has been all the way through that journey. He's not seen himself as anything other than the elite player. So that's commitment. Then you've got the person who wants it, and they're actually sitting in the grandstand, pointing over there and saying, I want to be him. But sitting there saying, I want. Not prepared to get up at 4 o'clock. Not prepared to push through and do some things that are going to be very uncomfortable. Not prepared to practice and try this and try that. But stay on the court. Stay committed. So I want you to get what commitment really is. Focus. We talked a little bit about this, having a simple plan and knowing your numbers. So knowing, as I said before, about what you need to do in order to get the result that you want. So what are the activities that you need to be doing? So if it's a real estate agent, okay, they know they want to sell 2 or 3 or 4, let's say 5 houses a month, right? So they know that if to hit 5 sales a month, because that's going to give them the income that they want, then they are going to have to go in and do maybe 20 appraisals at the moment in today's environment. I don't know, I'm taking some random numbers again. And so to get to do 20 appraisals, that means they're going to have to go and deliver maybe 1,000 flyers a week and go and door knock 5 nights a week. And they are going to, you know, just what are the activities? Because you can't get 20 appraisals from sitting in your office behind a desk waiting for the phone to ring. and knowing that that 1,000 flyers have to be delivered, and they are delivered. Or it's somebody who has to pick up the phone and make the sales. You know that in order to make the number of sales that you need to make, that you need to have 50 leads to even pick up the phone. So from 50 leads, you know that you're going to have 20 conversations, and out of those 20 conversations, you're going to get 5 sales. So that's kind of the sales process, and then bringing it back again to the marketing. What marketing do you need to do to get those leads? Whatever business, if it's a real estate agent, what marketing do you need to do to get in front of, in 20 lounges and talking to 20 homeowners every single month? Because those 20 will equate to 5 sales. And the same as whatever you do, what marketing needs to happen to give you the leads. And it's one of the most common things I hear is I don't have enough leads. So what marketing are you doing? But sometimes then it jumps forward. It's because you actually don't want to have the sales conversations, because that's what scares you. So you've got this thing that keeps you from doing the marketing. You give yourself the excuse that I can't afford it, or I don't know what to do, or whatever, that you don't do the marketing in the first place, that you sit with, I don't have enough leads. So what has to happen? Awesome. So that's a little bit about focus. So total focus, simple plan, know your numbers and focus on that. Don't be distracted by looking at all the other things. Have a couple of key strategies for your marketing. Have a really strong sales process so you know what your funnel looks like. It's really simple. It leads into, that's part of your plan that leads into what your outcome is, which is your goal. So the action steps, whatever that you have on your to-do list today, I want you to revisit that. I want you to look at, firstly, the things that are on that list. Are they the most impactful actions for your business to get the result that you want? Really think about that. What components of what I need to do today on that list are things that are keeping you from doing the things that you know, sometimes it's at that kind of I've been kidding myself level by telling myself it's okay to put it off. It's okay to put it on the bottom of the list. But you know that if you did those things, it would get you closer and closer to the result you want. And for those of you who are really wanting to grow your business, it's about what are the lead generation and sales strategies, or sales and lead generation activities rather. They're the things that you should be doing first. Not adding onto the website, not needing to redo the filing, what are all the things that are not essential and important? It's not the urgent, it's the important. And that is all about lead generation and sales. So the things that you're putting off, say we'll just look at your to-do list that you've got, if it's today's to-do list, what are the things that keep getting transferred? They're the things that you're putting off. Put that at the top of the list and do that first. Because not only does it need to be done, but once you've done that, first thing in the morning, you feel so good because A, you've achieved it, and it's like, whoa, what was I getting myself so worked up for? Or just the fact that you've done it. But you start getting a result as well. I had someone the other day, it was just a complimentary session where she said, look, there's just these key things I keep putting off. And it's like, why? I said, how about we hang up the phone and you just go do them? And she's like, oh, okay. I got a text from her about an hour later saying, oh my gosh, I don't know why I was putting that off. It was about picking up the phone and making these calls. They were so rapt to hear from me, and they were, it was kind of a complicated story, but it's like she had just been making it so big in her head, and she was so reluctant to go there, but when she did, she got the reward, and it made her feel ready to take on the next thing. So it's always asking yourself, what are the 5 most impactful things that I can do today or the 5 things that will have the most impact on my business. Put those in first, then put in anything else. And especially the ones that you're putting off. Okay, number 5, the secret sauce. So the secret sauce is, in order for you to do any of those things we've just talked about, and in order for you to be as effective and be as productive as you can possibly be, it's for you to operate from the very best version of yourself, for you to be in the best emotional state, in a peak state every moment of every day. So how do you do that? So are there times when you just feel, you know, rubbish? I could use a whole lot of words for you. Especially if you find procrastination, avoidance, confusion. I don't know how you're using all those things, or you allow those things to get in your way, or you're busy being busy, but you're not actually doing the work that needs to be done. Confusion is a huge one. It's because emotionally you're not in the best state. You're not in, I'm sure you've all heard about it, and I'm going to kind of flick forward here in a minute because I'm going to talk more into this, but it's about accessing your flow state. It's accessing who you truly are without any of your fears, any of the masks that you normally wear, without anything, your ego, anything that's in your way. You clear that out and you operate from your flow state. So the secret sauce is finding a way, having a way of you being able to get into that state every morning, first thing. And this is the thing that you need to do before you do anything else. So you get in this peak state, then you have clarity. You know exactly what you need to do. You're committed like you've never been committed before. You've got focus. You go take those actions that you need to take. Because nothing, okay, there's going to probably be some uncomfortability, but you know that on the other side of that uncomfortability is where all the rewards are. Because I know that. That's how I most powerfully coach people, is because whatever's uncomfortable, whatever you've got going on, whatever is the reason that you can't move from where you are, and what I mean by that is get the financial result you want, or the health result, or the relationship result, is because you are allowing everything to be locked and kept in place because you're not prepared to move through some uncomfortability. And for you to get the change that you probably want, you're going to have to put on what I call your big girl pants. But if you're committed, then that's what you will do. So I just want to know at this point, what's been most useful so far? Can I just have a couple of comments on what have you found useful so far? Okay, the bit about being in flow and being peak state. Yeah, absolutely. It's something we don't normally focus on, or we don't even know what's happening, because we haven't even, for a lot of people, they don't even have the awareness that they just accept this kind of deadened, numb state sometimes that people operate from. Because it's been around for so long, they know it doesn't feel good. They don't know that they can do anything about it. They feel like they don't have a choice. And to a degree, that's kind of victim mode. Because what a victim is the feeling that you are powerless to change the situation. It's not just about feeling that somebody's doing something to you. It's about feeling powerless to change the situation. So great distinction if you've got that. Who else? Who else, you know, wants to just pop up some comments about what's been most useful so far? Yep, absolutely, absolutely. About focus. Yep. So what about focus? Is focus something that's missing for you? Is focus, you know, because is that a reminder? I guess it's probably a reminder for you, and just that heightened awareness about how you perhaps allow non-focus or distractions and too many things going on, especially for creative people, for those who love to start things, love to create. It's like you get started on one thing and then a new idea pops up, so you're over here, or some new information comes up, and you know, you've kind of said, okay, this is what I'm doing, but I'm over here, maybe trying this, and it could be around, you know, your marketing or you know, your business practice. It's like know the path. It can be refined, absolutely, as you move forward. And if something's not working, then you adjust. But it's following that path, having a path to follow in the first place. So great if that's been a distinction for you. So what else? Okay, around procrastination and saying that's a biggie. So procrastination, and that's, you know, sometimes we call that putting off till tomorrow what we should be doing or could be doing today. But that's all those things that I lump in there that do the same thing, which is confusion and avoidance. Some people it's just feeling frozen. They know that what they should be doing, but they just can't seem to do it. So great, and if that's one of your things, it's okay. What do we do about it? So here we go. We're just going to talk a little bit more about this. Overwhelm, confusion, avoidance, paralysis. Oh, what a feeling! I mean, who can identify with this? Who goes through stages of this? And I'm sure we all do at times. But it's how long, and it's being aware, recognizing it, and doing something about it. But when we use the secret sauce, when we are able to access the best state in the mornings, then these things don't come into play. Well, what's actually going on here? We're actually connecting with our true inner selves. We're not allowing anything, or our beliefs that don't serve us, or our old patterns of behavior. When we're operating from who we truly are, which is our flow, then these things don't impact us. Or you know, maybe we allow things to get on top of us, and we might, you know, access overwhelm for a period of time. But it's recognizing it. What do I need to be doing about it? And one of the key things here is commitment. When you are committed, when you remind yourself of your commitment and what commitment means, then it's like, okay, I'm going to push through this. I'm going to access my flow, and I'm going to do what needs to be done. Even when, you know, even when we're in our flow, sometimes it's scary, that scary stuff, that uncomfortability. Because everything you want is on the other side of your uncomfortability. And if you don't know what's going to make you uncomfortable, you're telling yourself you don't know, then I would suggest that you do a little bit of work around looking at the things that you use as the reasons, what you're calling the reasons why you can't do what needs to be done, or you can't have what you want to have. And those typical things are time, money, other people, my partner, you know, somebody's done something to me, or what else? But certainly time and money are the biggies. Let's look at money. I haven't got enough money to do anything. It's keeping everything locked in place. Sure, it's your reality, but it's actually not a reason, it's an excuse, because it's locked everything in place for you. So it's, what uncomfortability do you need to move through to get to the other side of that? Time. You know, this one is huge. I don't have the time to do everything, or I don't have the time to do what needs to be done, or, you know, time. Let's have a good look at it. So where are you doing things that you don't actually aren't the important things? Where are you busy all day but you've achieved nothing, but you're still using, this is an excuse, and it locks everything in place because you can't move through. Health, it's another one. And my health means I can't. And I know this one can sound, you know, sometimes I feel I've got to be careful with this one because health is so real. But it's also what's keeping everything locked in place. So it's about looking at what else needs to happen. It's like maybe there's some huge boundaries changes you need to make around your sleep, how you fuel yourself. So it's really looking at what you're using currently as the reasons that things are not happening for you the way you want them to happen. So, bear with me. So procrastination, just dealing with that. Being in your flow, always align with, you know, your best state. Find your flow and align with the very best energy first. Paramount. Do that every day. Get clear about what needs to be done and do the hardest thing first. If you do those three things every single day, your whole world will change. Procrastination goes out the window. But first of all, you've got to be committed. You've got to be committed. Just notice my screen's paused. That may mean that we've got a slight internet disconnection, and I'm hoping that we've jumped back on. That should be okay. So if we've got a gap there or some static, you'll know why. So this is all glued together with commitment. Are you really committed to your business? That's the question that I want you to ask yourself. What does commitment mean to you right now? Do you need to change what commitment looks like for you? And I'm based on, you know, I've got clients who, and I'm probably going to jump to the next slide. I work with people all the time where things around procrastination, avoidance, overwhelm, they're the key things that keep everything locked in place. As I said before, money and time are key things that keep everything locked in place. So the first thing that I always work on is commitment. What does commitment look like? It means following the plan. First of all, you know, okay, we're going to work on the plan. What does the plan look like? What do the goals look like? Know your numbers. Keep it simple. Have focus. But then you've got to walk the path. You've got to implement the plan. It's a bit like the weight loss strategy. Isn't that the most simple strategy in the world that ever was? Eat less, exercise more. Done. Why is it the biggest issue on the planet? Because it's not about the strategy. It's about what gets in the way of a person, an individual, being able to execute that strategy. So this is what my clients work on. It's have a plan, action the plan, and in order to action the plan, it's working on you, because all the plan and what you need to do, they're all external things. So that's great. We've got that locked in place. We've got all the external things sorted. This is what needs to happen. So what's the other side of the coin, the other side of the equation? It's the internal piece, because that's what's going to stop you from walking the plan. It's what's going to keep you locked in confusion, overwhelm, all those things that we've talked about. And it all starts with commitment. Then it goes on a journey of what you need to do. What change do you need to make? What uncomfortability do you need to experience? What discomfort do you need to push through? You know, that comfort zone that we talk about. Comfort zone, really? Is it really so comfortable there? So I like to refer to it as a box. We're inside a box that we're bouncing around on the walls. so damn uncomfortable, and all we know is we keep hearing the same things. It's too hard, I can't, I'm confused, I'm overwhelmed, I don't have the money, my life sucks. And every now and again we get brave and we open the lid, poke our head up, and the lid comes back down, bang, crash. So we poke our head back down and say, see, I told you so. So it's about collapsing the entire box. It's about being able to get out there in the unknown. Because everything inside the box, it's known. It's what I've tried. It's what, I tried this once and it didn't work, and I'm projecting out into the future that if I do this, and, all my beliefs, and it's like, collapse the box and get out where the unknown is. Because all the answers, everything you want is out there in the unknown. But you've got to be committed. You've got to have faith and trust that moving from the known world to the unknown world is going to be where you need to go. Because is it going to be uncomfortable to go there? You betcha. Because if you're stuck in that place right now that you're not getting the result that you want, firstly, you're not committed. You're not prepared to do whatever it takes. And you turn away from uncomfortability and avoidance. And you might not recognize that at the moment because you're not even going anywhere near the next level of uncomfortability that you need to go through. I was talking to someone this morning that there were certain things that she was just not prepared to do because she said, that's not who I am. I don't, it's like, it's not my strength. But when we started unpacking things and looking at what's really going on, she was avoiding doing that because it all came back to some things that she had around self-worth and her value. So it's about understanding who you are and owning the value that you bring to every aspect of your life, your business. So it's owning who you are. And not enough people are doing that. It's not about pushing hard to get the result that you want. It's about accessing your flow. It's about living from that place. It's about moving through some uncomfortability and gluing that all together with a commitment. But you've got to decide, you've got to make the decision that you are committed, that you will do whatever it takes from this point forward, that you will find the way to access your flow state, your peak state, your best emotional state, the best version of yourself. Access that, operate from that place in everything that you do. But you've got to decide that this is the time, that it's now that you need to put on your big girl pants, or I'm not sure if we had a couple of men registered, I'm not sure if they're on the call, or big boy pants. Step up, step into wherever you need to go from this point. Don't allow, I can almost hear some of you saying, but I don't know how. You're stuck in kind of, in that procrastination cycle. So some things that you can do easily. Get yourself in the very best state. That's, I'm just trying to think what else I've got on here. So being able to access the state that we operate from, the very best version of yourself. It's going to give you the confidence, the power, accessing your internal true power to go out, do what needs to be done, and claim what's rightfully yours. You came here to live the very best life, but we all did. But we allow things to get in our way. We allow those masks to come on, those beliefs that don't serve us. This is about getting all those out of the way, accessing the very best of ourselves and moving forward from that point. Finding your flow. We've talked about your flow. This is your flow state. This is your natural state, your natural way of being. It's about you being able to express who you are, you as the real you, not as other people think you should be, or the person that you think you should be because you believe you're not perfect. Whatever it is, it's about you being able to express who you are. Because when you do that in everything that you do, that's when people want to be around you. That's when you attract the people who want to be with you, work with you, buy from you. That's what you need to access when you're in the sales process. So the secret sauce. What I do every morning, I go through a daily ritual every morning, and it's what I teach my clients to do. It's about a 12 to 15 minute process. That is the most powerful thing that you can do ever in your life. When you do a ritual the way that we do it, and it's not complicated, but there is process to it. It's about accessing what you're grateful for every day, and I'm giving you a very, very simple version of how it works. So we're accessing what we're grateful for. We then embed new beliefs about ourselves based on what current old beliefs might be running and operating. And we do that in such a powerful, energetic way that it absolutely embeds in every cell of our body. The third part is about future pacing, so looking into the future to claim and know that everything out there that you want is sitting there waiting for you. So it's getting in touch with all those goals that you've set, all those people that you've said are the reason why you get up every morning and do what you do. So it's about accessing love and what's out there in your future. And the last part is all around kind of shaking off any energy that does not serve us, and then getting into kind of dance mode where we actually access bodily our flow. So disconnecting from our head and just letting our body move and be rhythmic. So all this is anchored by powerful music. This process, when you do it every day, just gets layered and layered and layered until, you start off doing it, and doing this every day, it's like you can access that state whenever you need it. The most powerful thing I think I've ever done in my life, and my clients all say the same thing. So I want to quickly ask you, because we're running over the hour now, why do you want to be unstoppable, always be in your flow and achieve your goals and live your best life? Why is that important to you? I just want you to quickly jump in the question box. Why is it important for you? Why do you want this? Because I can help more people? Absolutely. Because I came here to live the very best life. Absolutely you did. What else? Why do you want to be unstoppable, always be in your flow, achieve your goals, and live your best life? Because I love to learn and grow and expand. I love to live in possibility. Whoa, I love it. Love it. But sometimes it feels like it's just a dream, that it's just out there somewhere. So how about today you claim as being the day that you put the stake in the ground and you know that there is no alternative now. There is no other option. I'm going after it all, because you don't have to settle for mediocre. You don't have to settle for anything less than what you want. It's not being selfish. The very best thing you can do for anybody, for all of those people that you have as the reason why you're doing what you do, is to show up, to shine the light and give permission to everybody else, to all those people, for them to show up, for them to be the very best that they can be and live the very best life. You lead by example. Sometimes we wonder what we can, what's the best thing we can do. That's the best thing that you can do. And that's what you're here to do. That's what we're all here to do. So if you're sick of waiting, I was talking to someone this morning, 7 years she's been wanting to break through to the next level. When is now the best time to put that stake in the ground and say, no more, this is it. Big girl pants on. I'm going for it. I will do whatever it takes. It all starts with a decision. A decision, a commitment, and take the action. If you want to attract the people into your life, that includes clients, relationships, attract health. So if you want abundance, health, lifestyle, freedom in your life, you want to attract that, then you've got to be that. And being that is being in your flow, accessing the very best version of yourself, being grateful, being love. So the secret sauce, number 2, is adding in there being very clear about your boundaries, as we talked a little bit before. I won't labor on this because we're going over time now. So boundaries, what do you need to put in place that makes sure that you're fueled to go the distance, that you are nourished properly, that you are getting the sleep that you need, that you exercise your body, that you maybe meditate, that you journal? What are the other activities that you can put in your place so you are as fueled as you can be? And yes, absolutely, definitely, a morning or daily ritual is in the right way is the most powerful boundary that you put in place every day. There is no other option. I do this every day. Visualization. Maybe you've experienced visualization and maybe you haven't, but start accessing your mind's eye when you close your eyes and you do a meditation maybe. But just try accessing, go out to the future. Take yourself out to where everything you want is and see what's there. Feel what's there. Feel what's there. Feel what it's like when you've achieved the things that you want to achieve, when you're doing and being the person that that takes the right actions, that takes the actions that you need to take. So those are a couple of things to put in place that are going to make all the difference. The secret sauce that people sometimes forget or don't know about. But it's about making things happen, isn't it, from this point? If you want to be the extraordinary woman, you're going to have to access the courage to go where you need to go, to explore yourself, to take actions that you may have not have been prepared to take before. But you've got to see that change is not going to happen unless you change. What do they say is the definition of madness? Repeatedly doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And that doesn't just mean doing the same marketing or this is about you doing this and being the same person. It's about expansion. Everything's about expansion and growth. Really looking at what's the next level of you that you need to access. And what things do you need to move through or break through to be able to access that. So that's kind of a wrap up. What I'd love to do, I didn't mention at the beginning, but I did want to reward you, and for those of you who have stayed the distance, for those of you here at the end, and I've got there who you are, I'm offering you a bonus strategy session with me to really hone in on some of the things that we've talked about, to give you a taste of some secret sauce. So a session that where you're going to ignite your power to go out there. Not only this will uncover, what you need to be doing as far as the actions, but what are the things maybe that you need to now start moving into and moving through? What's the next level of you that you need to be to get the result that you want, to break through whatever barrier is there that has meant you've not got there yet? So that's my gift to you. I know I can offer huge value, and I would like to gift that to you. So if you've got any questions right now, send them through. I'll send you a quick email with my contact details if you've got any other questions, because I do have another call that I always often, I should not say always, often do this where I just get so kind of passionate about where the conversation's going, and I get a little bit carried away. So I do apologise that I took you over time. I hope it's been of value to you, and I look forward to talking to you, those of you who are here at the end. And yes, any questions, just fire them through. But otherwise, I'm going to go off now, but I'd love to stay connected. If there's any way that I can support, I'm going to touch base with you anyway to see if there's anything that I can support you with, and book in the Ignite strategy session. So go and have a lovely afternoon, or if it's you're elsewhere in the world, have a fantastic day or evening. Thanks so much for being on the session today.